Hi again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. Well, the talk nowadays is related to economics. Spending a lot of time talking about the tariff, what it means to some, what it doesn't mean to others. Have you yet, with this confusion going on, determined what it actually means? Who pays the tax, if it is a tax? Or are you just still walking around, even at this late date, just listening to people say this and say that, and you have no idea of what it really means? Well, most people in the world look at it like that. And so whatever usually is advocated or given power usually happens. Happens because people are unfamiliar with what's going on, what is required. It's just a confused situation, ladies and gentlemen. And it will always be confused until, like a tree, it rises. Then and only then will it stand. The economic systems of the world, for some strange reason, when we're talking about trade, because that's key. I think that's what it's all about. Trading with the rest of the economies of the world to share your resources, to receive theirs, to market them, to make money, and at the same time have a connection with your brothers and sisters. It's not one of those connections that you can really care about people, but you got your friends. And we've had our friends and other powers around the world have had their associates and friends. But recently, most recently, some strange things have been happening with what's happening in America, because the decision, it appears, has been made that we as Americans, we're going to get rid of our friends and connect ourselves with what have in the past been our enemies. But then it goes beyond that. It seems that the powers that be have determined that their main goal is to destroy this country, bring it to a point that it is so weak that it can be overcome by a little of this. And their reward is just like selling secrets to a foreign government. They pay you depending upon the worth of the government, the worth of the information. And can you imagine a president who can't stand the country that he's president of? He's only been able to get in power there because he has been able to manipulate the people through deception, led by lies, and he utilized everything that he has to destroy what he can't stand. He's been pissed off with America for quite some time. America, to a certain degree, had tried to be kind of fair, and he didn't like that. Then again, when he tried to take advantage of the systems, take advantage of the law, and they caught him and wanted to make him pay, he thought he was above the law, and he didn't like that. So when they tried to treat him as a regular person, he didn't like that. And they have not just kissed his ring like he would like them to kiss it. And so he's kind of pissed off with them. And at the same time, he's kind of fed up with them. He's figured he can drop them like wives. Just, if you can't take benefit from them, get rid of them. And you don't have to care about what you do to them. You can bury them in your backyard if you want to. I mean, that's what you can do when you are king. But we don't want to leave it just there. We don't want to just stop it there, because all of these kinds of things happen. And if you ask the leaders, the powers around the world, in relationship to the markets, in relationship to trade, about what would be the best move to make at a time like this, you'll find people talking about stop using the dollar for whatever the reasons might be, and they are many. And they will probably be talking about all kind of substitutes, whether it's some fake coins or whether it's some computer chip or anything. But the motivation will be the same as it has always been, with profit. It will be as it has always been. It'll be about money, and it'll be about who got the money and how much you got and what. the money will allow you to do compared to what, well, that's, you know how that works. So we have to ask ourselves, is there any amongst us who have a compassion enough for this operation? Is it any amongst us who have enough compassion for your constituents, but beyond that, your city, your town, your state, your nation? Is there any leaders or people of power amongst us internationally who have a vision of a partnership with one another that would allow us to benefit much more than we've ever benefited before, that would eliminate or help eliminate much of the pain, if not all, and the suffering? Is there any amongst us that can consider these kinds of things and offer it to us, we the people, not just the power structure that be, but we the people? Give us a chance for it to infiltrate our spirit, infiltrate our being, give us a chance to contemplate and to see where it takes us, so we can either make the decision where we will support it, where we will support it, and our representative leadership will know that we will stand for nothing else, because we will begin to see the benefits of it the day we begin to start operating like it, plain and simple. But I say, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we as people rely on people to come together and make their decisions together like this, we're going to always come up short. Now, as spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people, my concern is that, like the tree gets everything it desires to be a tree, not just desire, but get everything it needs to be a tree. And I'm convinced that a human being, to get everything a human being requires to represent the power that made it, the power that made the human being, should have everything that it needs so it can represent the power that brought it into existence. So when I think about we being here on this earth, and you know, if you've listened to my post, you've heard me say many different approaches to it, but it always ended up leading the same path to the same place. So I'm thinking, because I know, and I'm trying to figure out how can I say it to you so that you can understand that just as you, my friends, give it your hard-earned hours to make some money, whether it's minimum wage or less than minimum wage, or making the amount of money where people just can't believe you making that kind of money when you compare it to what they make. And naturally, you're going to see people living a different kind of lifestyle. You're going to see people whose lawns are just manicured, looking beautiful. And you're going to see other people in your lawn who have the same desire for the other one, but it's going to be filled with trash, straight up trash. Why? Because this is how the distinction is made by those who got and those that don't got. But just think about the proper way. If you change your emphasis, ladies and gentlemen, America, ladies and gentlemen of the world, people everywhere, listen up. If you change your motivation from making money, now we all know what money represents. All of us on earth know what money represents, the good and the bad. But if we changed our motivation from making money, we, and let our motivation be for having careers and doing all of this, not again, I'm saying it again because I want this to be making a point. It's not to make money, but what you're doing now, if you have the opportunity to choose a career that gives you your greatest joy. Now, what I'm saying we switch your career choice, and it is your choice. In the past, you might have had other motivations like money, how much you make, and how much you can't make, what kind of work it was. But now it's you choose that which gives you your greatest joy. Because as I was saying, now you're not getting a check. Your reward for your career is the joy. The joy, see, the joy that the world can't give and the world can't take away. But it's a joy that comes to satisfy your love for that which you do. So if now joy has replaced money, that basically means that everything else is just cream on the top. You don't pay for anything. That's just cream on the top. That's yours anyway. That's yours. And the reason that is yours, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to get lost. It's because as you have chosen your careers, what you are doing, what most of you will be doing, is stuff that's being done already. But it will be done by those who receive joy in doing it. Those who receive joy in doing it. And what will they be doing? They will be doing everything and much more besides. And they will be creating in such an abundance there's nothing running out. And there still, ladies and gentlemen, based upon the systems that we have devised, as we have determined that we need food, clothing, shelter, and education, we have also devised what it takes to operate trade from country to country to country to country. We already got that set up. And so that trade will still take place, but it will not be on the basis of profit money. It'll be on the basis of you having the opportunity to create more love and get more joy in your living and everything else, ladies and gentlemen. Cream on the top. Now I bet you, I bet you in America I can beat that. And it's yours. Just a choice. Just a choice. But I know people rather go to war, rather pull finger triggers and bombs and kill babies and old folk and young folk, destroy hospitals and nursing homes, anything to get a little dollar and to prove that you're superior to somebody else. Why? Because you have not known the truth. You have not known the power of the stuff that I just shared with you. Some of you maybe heard it in your mind sometime, but some of you perhaps have never heard anything like that. And so in your mind, you figure you just hate. Some of you just hate different races of people for no reason, then that's what you were taught. Some of you can't even hate, you can't even love people of different genders. Why? Because for some strange reason, that's what you were taught. Some of you can't speak but one language, and that's the language you were taught. And everything else is foreign to you. And I don't care when you try to understand it, it does not mean anything. Not spoken. The action does. So what we're gonna do, and the hope, what it would have to be, is stop the language and give the action. The action is easy to understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. I feel that I have shared this with you, and it is as clear as the sun. Look, it is as clear as the sun shining down on my face. And if you don't hear it, it's because you don't want to. But I tell you what, it doesn't go any place. Anytime you're ready for it, it's ready for you. Bye bye.